So I plan to make this a rather short video. Those of you who don't know who Enoch Powell was or who Robert Mugabe was, Enoch Powell was famous for his rivers of blood. Okay, sorry about that. I had my stream playing. But Enoch Powell was a person who was famous for his rivers of blood speech, and he was a person that wanted to limit immigration. He wanted to stop immigration. I don't know if he wanted to directly stop immigration or greatly limit immigration to the United Kingdom. And he said that there would be problems with that. And there's a whole debate about the Windrush generation, and there's a group of people who say the manner in which the Windrush generation came about is untrue. That we're being fed that the Western world is being fed a pack of lies about how it came about, and the mainstream and establishment narrative is untrue. I don't know whether that is or isn't, but this would not be the first time when we've had a mainstream narrative, put out there that ended up being historically inaccurate, and things got changed around. But yeah, he is trending on Twitter. I believe there was like some riots in the UK, and that's why he is trending. But one of the things, the reason I decided to do my show is I see really a double standard within the establishment. I put the name up of Robert Mugabe. He was the leader. I don't know if they call him the prime minister or the president of Zimbabwe. Many believe that he was responsible for vicious and violent farm murders of whites who were in Zimbabwe, and I don't know if he set the trend for the murder of white farmers in South Africa. But again, you could have people in England in Speaker's Corner give praise to Robert Mugabe, and there would be probably no problem or less of a problem. But if you ever did the same with Enoch Powell, you would get far more restricted and far more shut down. And I believe that hypocrisy is abuse. And, it took me a while to notice the establishment powers that be, who are behind these kinds of double standards and the behaviors. It's something that infuriates me. I remember about 10, 11 years ago, I asked Tim Wise about white South African farmers being murdered. And he did respond to me saying that it was a bad thing, but it wasn't as bad as living under apartheid. And then I, followed up with him with another question, and he stopped talking to me. And about, I think when 10 years afterwards, or like 5-6 years afterwards, this issue became kind of mainstream. I forget what radio host first talked about it. Then Tucker Carlson took the ball. And then President Trump said he would look into it. And then that issue was completely shut down, saying that this was a white supremacist talking point. My argument has always been this. So if talking about the murder of white farmers in South Africa is a talking point because so-called white supremacists and white racists will latch onto it and may do bad things, couldn't the same thing be said about the Free Palestine movement, that Hamas and those groups may latch onto it and do bad things? And again, that issue is never brought up. They shut it down. They shut down your right to even ask questions, let alone dissent. And that is what I have a problem with. This is not done with intellect. It is done with force. These are not nice people. The individuals who are making these policies are not good, noble people. They are vicious and vindictive people. They believe in their ideology above all else. And if you question the ideology or the fairness of the ideology, they don't come to you with an answer. A lot of times they come to you with threats and with punishment. This movement, this modern third wave anti-racist movement, is largely an authoritarian movement that rules by fear and punitive action. And it will deny you any kind of due process. And to me, if you're going to do me harm, number one, I want to know who's doing it. I want to know their background, because who are they? If you are to sit in judgment of me, I want to know, have you done similar things? Transparency and merit is about like, hey, who are you to sit in judgment of anybody? Who are you to judge me? Who are you to punish me? Who are you to say that I can't ask questions or I can't have an opinion? Are your opinions all pure? Whether you agree with Enoch Powell or not, there does seem to be a glaring double standard in this country on who we are allowed to admire, what questions and subject matters we are allowed to address. We're not living in a free society. We're not living in an open society. At least that's what it feels like to me. And one of the things that, you thought the internet would usher in the age of information. It seems like it's ushered in the age of authoritarianism, ideological authoritarianism, and punishment. Could be wrong, but that's the way it feels anyway. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you disagree with anything that I've said, leave a comment. Say, I disagree with that. I'm open to change. But I'm not open to threats. If you threaten me, like I said, if you threaten me or try to do me harm, I want to know more about you. Because I want to know who sits in judgment of me. And anyone that does you harm or threatens to do you harm, you should want to know who they are. Anyway, again, this is Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also share the video if you gain anything. Thank you for listening.